Well, good morning, Lancers. And thank you, President Reevely, for the kind introduction and the degree. And I also want to thank President Reevely and the Board of Visitors for your kind invitation to speak to you graduates this morning. And thank goodness that the rain has held off. I'd like to offer congratulations to the faculty, alumni, parents, and of course, you graduates. What an exciting day for you. It is a delight to be here at Longwood University today. Anytime I step on this campus, I feel what a close-knit community you truly are. That's an advantage that smaller schools have, but I know it's something you also do consciously, and I think we'd all be better off if we work to build community as purposefully as Longwood does. Across the country this month, people like me are at microphones trying to impart deep, important life lessons and wisdom. And across the country, people like you are sitting in those chairs wishing that we would hurry up. On my journey to becoming a physician, I have participated in several graduations, so I can relate. You want the speaker to hurry up so you can get out and celebrate and get on with the next step in your lives. So don't worry. At VMI, I learned the 3 B's of public speaking. Be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. And I can guarantee you the first and the third. But first I want to tell you a story. When I was a second-year pediatric resident in training, still learning how to be a doctor, one night I was on call in the neonatal intensive care unit. We had a case where a premature baby was dying. The baby's x-ray showed what we call a pneumothorax, where air collects outside the lung. That wasn't something that I had handled by myself before. Ordinarily, as a second-year resident, you'd call the attending physician. You'd call for an adult, someone with full training, someone who knew what they were doing to stand beside you and guide you. But my attending wasn't there, and he couldn't get there fast enough. I knew that that baby would die if I waited, so I had to put a chest tube in to save the baby's life. I wanted to wait for someone with authority, someone who could shoulder this responsibility, but that person wasn't there. I had to be the adult, no matter how much I didn't feel ready to be. For many of you, college has been a time when you are still learning from the adults, building experience under the supervision of people with greater responsibilities. But soon, as scary as it can seem, you're going to be the adults. It will be up to you to save the baby. I have faith that Longwood's emphasis on citizen leadership has prepared you well for the future, because we need your help. Anyone who has watched the news lately understands that we're in a unique moment of challenge and complexity in this country and in the world. I wish I could tell you that my generation has a firm grasp on problems like economic inequality, lack of access to health care, global warming, gun violence, globalization and automation, immigration, and many others. But the truth is we don't. Now, we're not quite ready for our rocking chairs yet. But in addition to finding a good job and a great place to live, the young men and women who graduate today will be responsible for setting the future course for all of us. I ask you to use the strong moral compass that you've developed here at Longwood. You as graduates of this particular university in this particular Commonwealth are going to lead the way. That's the Virginia way. It's the principle upon which this state was founded. We are a Commonwealth because our founders recognized long ago that we're all in this together. That a safe, prosperous society only works if we focus on the common good as much as we do on our own. That's something that you've learned as citizen leaders here at Longwood. When we focus on the common good, we also respect others as individuals, not judging them based on sexual orientation, skin color, which country they come from, or which religion they practice. We work to welcome and uplift everyone, no matter who you are, where you're from, or who you love. Here at Longwood, you've received a classic liberal arts and sciences education. That kind of education prepares you not just for the particular career you plan to pursue, but for life. It teaches you to use your mind and think for yourself. And in the very loud public sphere we have these days, you'll need those skills to guide you toward what is true and right. Longwood has taught you to be citizen leaders, which is no small thing. It means you're prepared to work toward that common good. It means you value your connection to your community. It means you're always open to learning and using what you learn. At a moment when it's never been easier to lose hope or grow cynical, I understand the temptation to tune out and focus on what's right in front of you. When you're feeling that way, I hope you'll remember all you learned here at Longwood and the value of citizen leadership. I hope you'll remember to think for yourself. As we've seen all over the country in recent months, you are a member of a generation that isn't waiting for my generation to determine the future for you. You have the power and the responsibility to make the world you want to live in. You make the relationships that will sustain you. You make the communities you want to raise kids in. You make the world you want to leave your own children. You can live a life that makes the world around you better. You have that power, and we need you to use it. That is my charge to you today, to use your power and your abilities to fix the problems you see in the world. Think for yourself, but act for the greater good. Now, this wouldn't be a graduation speech if I didn't have some life advice for you as well. I want you to get your full money's worth. I know a lot of you are first-generation college students. Your parents may not have gone to college, but they or someone in your life saw and helped you see the value of additional learning to help you reach your goals. For all of you, but for you first-generation college students especially, I know this can be a bittersweet time. When we take a path in life that's different from those of our parents or friends, it can disconnect us from our homes. So I have a piece of advice. Keep in touch with your roots. Call someone once a week to tell them you're thinking about them. Your mother will certainly appreciate that. Some of you are probably thinking you make way more than one phone call a week. And others are surprised to hear that some old people like me still talk on the phone. But please hear me out. My brother and I both went to VMI. He's 2 years older than me. Every Sunday, we went together to the same phone booth to call our mother and father. Let me explain. A phone booth was a person-sized box that had inside it a telephone. You put coins into a slot, and it would let you make a call for a few minutes. Or, if you were like my brother and me and didn't have any money, we called collect. Okay, that means that the phone company charged our parents for the call. So we charged them money to ask if they would send us more money. The only difference now is you all probably text them instead of call. But that weekly call was a touchstone. No matter what we were doing, every week we called and told our parents we were doing okay and that we loved them. Over the years, I've continued that practice, making at least one call a week, just to tell someone in my life how much they mean to me and that I'm thinking of them. Those calls aren't just for the people I'm calling, they're for me too. They're a reminder that no matter what's happening in my life, no matter how high or low I'm riding, nothing is more important than the relationships I keep. If there's anything you learn as a doctor, it is that life is short, and the most valuable things in your life are there with us at the beginning and the end, our families and our friends. It's virtually impossible to predict what will happen in your lives after this day. I can tell you for sure that no one, myself included, would have looked at this skinny kid from the eastern shore of Virginia and VMI and said, there's the 73rd governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. But I've had a wonderful and supportive family. My brilliant and beautiful wife, Pam, is way out of my league. And our children, Wes and Aubrey, are the best kids a dad could ever pray for. And from seeing them, you can assume that no matter what highs or lows might come in life, I'll be okay. So my hope for you is that no matter what you do, you will put relationships first. If you do, the other things will come. And no matter what happens, you will have the people you need to build a life worth living. You never know how you'll affect someone else's life. That premature baby whose life I saved as a second-year resident is now 33 years old. So whose life will you touch? I have the faith that you're up to the challenges ahead. I have seen your generation already start to step up to the plate, speaking out when you see injustice and when you disagree with the status quo. Keep it up so that when you're in my place, when you're in your rocking chair, you can look back and feel satisfied that you built a good life and contributed to a better world. Congratulations and thank you so much.